say my chapter goes and asks for their normal $2,000 or whatever it is for conference from student government. Can we ask for an additional amount? You know, ask them to bump it up and give it to, because I know, what do we have, 13 grand a year or something like that at our campus.
Well, each campus is different.
That's the approximate. They never ever gave us the exact amount.
Numbers,
Yeah.
Well, and that's just it. If you're, and the other thing is, it would be in the, you know, it's going to break with tradition in a lot of chapter circumstances, but it has been the tradition in a lot of chapters to just go right before a conference and ask for money.
Ours doesn't.
No. Establish a budget where you're putting in a budget request in June.
So what am I gonna? I know how our chapter works, and Jennifer's very good at that. But how are we gonna get? How am I supposed to span that out?
Familiarize yourself with 25 chapters budgets.
No.
Yeah, that's what how am I supposed to incorporate that?
Okay. More specifically, then, like an article in the newsletter.
Okay.
About, you know, it's the fiscal year ends the end of June. Now's a great time to go to your SGA and plan your budgets for next year. Consider asking for funding for all conferences up front. Because like this year, when the moratorium on...
That's true, because they'll be more prone to give it to you at the beginning of their fiscal year than they are later.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And what happens then is if it's already in the budget, it's already been allocated to you, even if there becomes a moratorium on out-of-state travel, the way there was this year for Ivy Tech, you're more likely to be able to go anyway.
Because it's already been established.
It's already been allocated. So you allocate everything at the beginning of the year, and then you just go back and pull from it.
And if that doesn't
make
work, you
sense?
throw a tantrum like your little kid in the store.
But I mean, your chances are better. And then if you need something additional, you can go back later. But
What would be a good cap for me to ask
$1 million.
SGA for? We get 13 grand. I see how much goes out, and it's not 13 grand. So what would be a good? I mean, if they're willing to give PTK $2 grand every year, am I gonna mess up?
You owe $1.
Yeah. Am I gonna mess up their chances, or do I just? You know what I mean?
as far as your chapter, okay.
First it gets bumped. You know, everybody has to look over it, and they've told us before. I'm sorry.
What is your chapter's goals? I mean, you have to first know what your goal is. Is your goal to send all your regional officers, or not regional officers, chapter officers to every convention? If that's it, how much does it cost to go to a convention? And I can provide you sheets that break down costs for different
I
conventions.
know
and
there's
things.
certain things like the what is that walk that we were talking about earlier?
Relay for Life?
Inspired. Yeah. The Relay for Life that we contribute so much to for bottled water and that sort of thing. We get the money from SGA and then we use it for people that are there.
Okay.
All that stuff is set out. It's all very budgeted. And so is the money for the certain...
What, travel too?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
See, that's where I think we've not been as specific as we need to be. I don't know if I have one of those with me. I can go look, and if so, I can make copies of it for you. But if you figure out how much it costs per student, and you say, okay, this is what we want to do. We want to take our 5 chapter officers to the 3 Indiana conventions. This is how much it will cost. We would like SGA to pay half of each, or whatever. Then you know what to ask for. And if you're asking for numbers based on reality, you're a lot better off than having an arbitrary number. We want $2,000 towards our travel. What does that mean?
What?
Yeah, exactly. It's not, you're not hanging anything on it. Next year we know that the international convention is going to be in Orlando. So we're talking about flights. We're talking about, this staying. So you can start figuring all that stuff out already and guesstimating what it'll be.
Yeah, theoretically, you go ahead and book rooms and all that stuff based on the costs, and then, or you do a mock booking, but then you get figures that you can present. But the sooner you book your room, the probably the better price you can get for it, anyways.
Although, in that case, actually, Phi Theta Kappa makes deals with them.
Right. I mean,
once their
giving
deals
that into
come
it.
out, it's what you want to take advantage of.
The way I do my budget when I turn it into SGA is I look at, like, this year we
Is
took
this for